the weekly show with David J. Maloney.
This week, David chats with American Idol alumni Triston Harper.
And now, here's your host, David J. Maloney.
Welcome, everyone, to the weekly show. I'm your host, David G. Maloney. On tonight's show, we've got a really special guest. He burst onto the national stage with his audition on season 22 of American Idol and captured the hearts of everyone on his way to the top 5. Here to chat about his life, story, and music is none other than Triston Harper. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Our featured guest tonight burst onto the national stage during his audition for season 22 of American Idol, and he continued to capture hearts across the globe whilst making it all the way to their top 5. Along the way, he shared powerful original songs like Hope and Wrapped Up in Jesus. Here to talk about his journey, his music, and the story behind it all is none other than Triston Harper. Triston, welcome to the show.
How you doing, man?
So, Triston, man, you've lived so much life in just the past few years, going from, I guess, homeless or borderline homeless to top 5 on American Idol and meeting many of your heroes along the way. It's probably hard to put into words, I imagine, but I'd like to kind of go back to where it all started for you here on the Gulf Coast in McIntosh, Alabama, because I think a lot of who someone is and a lot of who you are may come from where you were born. So imagine none of us knowing anything about McIntosh. Tell us what life is like there.
Well, McIntosh has got, as maybe a little over 400 people. You got a couple of stop signs, and people don't abide by them half the time. You got your couple of grocery stores. We finally now got a little restaurant there. But it's a little small town, man. I love it. I love the little small town.
I know your life has been filled with both happiness and hardships, but what are some of the good memories you carry with you from your time growing up? What are like some of the happy ones that you're never ever going to forget?
I remember when my mother bought me my first guitar, and she told me I needed to learn something on it, and she played piano. And she would do something on the piano, and she would tell me I need to do it on the guitar. And I couldn't find out how to do it. And she would say, well, don't come out of that room until you learn how. And I learned how to play 7 songs and within an hour. And so I just go back and look at that, and I can't forget that. It's some wonderful memory for me.
Well, it's a turning point probably in your life at that point, because if that doesn't happen, a bunch of other things don't happen, right?
That's true. That is true, man.
So I think one of the coolest things about McIntosh is the amount of Native Americans who still live there and how much being a part of that culture means to so many of them. What was that like for you? Like, what was the moment in your life which made you conscious that there was something different about your heritage than maybe a lot of others, in Alabama?
Well, I'm Choctaw Native. And to be surrounded by other people who are really big into their heritage. There are some who's kind of iffy about it. That's kind of don't really want to learn about it. But the side that I grew up on was super big about that heritage and getting to learn about your culture and getting to learn who you are and where you came from. Or in other words, my granddaddy said, "Don't forget your roots." Just going back and looking at it, there are so many people who don't know about their culture. And don't know about the colors and don't know about the words and don't know what it means. And then to have that, to be able to have that knowledge and know that I'm a Choctaw, I'm a Native, and I get to learn about things that happened years ago. It's just very special.
Yeah, because I was going to ask, what does having a Native American heritage mean to you? But it sounds like you kind of already addressed that in that answer. Do you think the spirit of that culture has impacted your music or musicality in any way?
I do. I 100% believe it to the fullmost. We have things called powwows, and in the middle of that powwow, there's about five men who are beating on this drum. And I'd walked up to one of the elders and I'd asked, why do they beat on the drum? I was wanting to get into it and learn a little bit more about it. And he said they're beating on the drum as a symbol of Mother Nature's heart. You know, they're beating on it, and as they're beating, it's the rhythm of a heartbeat. And so I just when I play the guitar and I'm you know, I'm moving my feet, I can hear that heartbeat. I can feel them drums, and it inspires me to everything that I write about.
And I know another interesting aspect of the culture, specifically in McIntosh too, is just how important Christianity is to a lot of people, including yourself. Has church just always been part of your life and story?
Church is from the beginning. I mean, I've been singing since I was 3, and singing them old gospel hymns and getting up with my granddaddy and my mother in the church, and just having God in the center of everything. You know, he's been the center of it for forever.
And I presume then that means that church was one of the first places you ever actually got to share some of your musical gifts. Because I know for a lot of artists, that's kind of the place where it starts, right?
Sir.
Was there a moment at church or otherwise before American Idol where you had that lightning bolt moment of, this is what I want to do. Music is what I want to do with my life?
I was at church. It was a crowd, honestly, maybe 300 people, and they was all requesting. They was all getting up and saying, "We want to hear Triston sing. We want to hear Triston sing." And I got up there, and me and my granddaddy, we were singing, and to see the people in there just cry. I mean, they're crying, and they're walking up to me after I'm singing, saying how I touched their heart, and now I'm just you know, that really God-given talent and stuff. I just knew that me doing what I do touches other people, and in a way it saves them. And I said, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. I want to be able to help other people and touch their hearts and bring them whatever out of what they're going through.
So most of us first heard of you as you walked on the American Idol audition stage and into the public eye, and they did a really fantastic video package on, you know, you and your hometown and your past and whatever. But I kind of want to know from you, what were you feeling in the moment as you walked towards those judges for the first time?
Well, when I first, it was in Tuskegee, Alabama. I won't ever forget it. It was October the 3rd.
Lionel's hometown.
Yes, Lionel Richie's hometown, man, and we're there in this gym, and they got the basketball goals up, and then I'm walking in there, and they're through sitting there, and Ryan Seacrest is talking with me with the camera, and he's going, "Are you ready, Triston?" I'm going, "I'm ready." He goes, "All right, the judges are ready for you." And I walk in, and there they are. I see the makeup artists now leaving, and they're getting sitting behind the cameras, and I see the producing team sitting there behind, and I walk in there, and then I'm automatically stoked because they tell me that the platform is a little American Idol symbol, and they remind me that there's been winners who stood on that very, you know, platform, and I'm already like, man, this is something. And then when I'm looking at Lionel Richie, and I'm looking at Luke Bryan, I'm looking at Katy Perry, I'm like, this is what everybody dreams to do. That's an artist. They dream of being in front of people they look up to, their idols, the people they look up to who tell them that they've got it. They've got what it takes. Man, it meant the world.
What do you remember the most about the moment you got the final yes? I think it was from Lionel. What was running through your head?
Well, you know, first when Luke said it was a yes and Katie said it was yes, I was like, all right, what's he got to say? And when he said yes, I was like, bam, you know, because now I feel like I've got, you know, I've got a real purpose, because, you know, when you're growing up in a little small town, you know, pretty much, you know, people who you grow up and go to church with, they love to compliment you, and they love to say, you can sing, but when there's people who are making records and they're making this money and they got the fame, they know what it takes. And when they tell a little boy at the time, 15 years old, you got what it takes, you're a singer, you can sing, man, it's just it's a game changer.
It's a different level of validation altogether.
Yes, it is.
You know, past the audition, you had some incredible moments on Idol, but there's so much happening behind the scenes that doesn't air on the show.
Right.
That being said, is there one memory or more than one memory, like behind the scenes memories, that are going to stay with you forever?
100%. First of all, gotta give it to the hair and makeup. Gotta give it to the
Wardrobe, folks.
man, wardrobe. Oh my Lord, that was probably my favorite thing about it. And the reason why I say that is they have all these outfits lined up. Now the process, Lord, but at the end of it was amazing because they have, let's say they got 7 outfits prepared, and the way the camera looks on that outfit, if it doesn't look right, it looks wonky, kind of look funky. They don't want that, to be on camera. They want you to look as good as possible. So we're going through these outfits, and I'm thinking, I look pretty good in the outfit I'm wearing. They go, yeah, but the camera don't like it. So then we'd put on something else, and we'd finally get the final product. Man, I said, Lord, I feel like a rich man now.
Here's just a selfish question. Do you get to keep any of it?
So I did. So what? So what happened? What happened is toward the end of it, the show had done ended, and I'm getting my boots and everything, my watch and stuff out of there, my wallet, because finale, you leave all that stuff behind. They don't want that shown on camera. So I'm going in there, and the girl that dressed me, she was telling me on how later on to get me a suitcase and bring it on down. And she was like, because they tailor-made everything specifically for your body. So it can't go on anybody, you feel me? Like, it's on you. And so she was like, you just bring your suitcase down, and I'm going to put all the stuff that we made for you, I'm going to put it in that suitcase. Belts, I got to keep belts. I got to keep jeans that's custom made. Man, you talking about felt good walking in that little small town. Walking in, but man, yeah, it was amazing. I love that part.
So you played 2 of your own original songs on the show, Hope and Wrapped Up in Jesus. So let's chat about those for a minute. Both have a lot of spiritual resonance for obvious reasons. So let's start with Hope. What's the story of how that song came to be?
All right, so it was a Wednesday night service, and I was supposed to go to church later on that night. Or during the day, my grandmother and my mother had got into some words. They got into a big argument, and they were saying some words that wasn't "I love you," and I just it really hurt me in a way. It's hard to see family like that. 2 people, two great women that you love, at it head to head, and that I won't never forget it. That night, my granny told me, she said, "Come on, son, let's go to church." And I've been playing the melody on the guitar, and I said, "Granny," I said, "I would." I said, but I can't. I said, "I got to write something." I said, "I don't know what I got to write." I said, "But I got to write this, and I got to sing it." She said, "Okay," and she left. She went on to church. And when I wrote that song, I set a camera up, and it's on my TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. It's everywhere. Of the original video, and I set the camera up, and I press record, and I just start singing out of the top of my head. And when I hit the stop button on the record, I felt in my heart like this is gonna be something. I didn't know when. I didn't, but I didn't care how long it would take. I just knew in my heart that this song was gonna touch somebody, because it touched me.
So you didn't write the lyrics down anywhere. That was just stream of consciousness.
You can ask anybody. They've never seen me with a pen and paper and me write anything down, because I have everything in my heart. And when you got it there, it can't go nowhere. You can't forget it.
And I know they told a little about Wrapped Up in Jesus on the show, but for those who missed it, what's the story behind that song? It's a great one, in my opinion.
All right, so it was one night at church, another Wednesday night, and I just got done singing, and the preacher done got done preaching, and we're walking out the door. Well, Sister Willamette calls me aside, and she says, "Baby," she said, "I got this song I want you to write down or do something with." She said, "I've had it for 20-something years, and I ain't never been able to do nothing with it. Take it back home and see what you can do with it." Well, at home, I'm trying to find everything I need to know to do with it, because she had this old bluegrass tone to it, but when I was singing it, I didn't feel that bluegrass tone to it, because she had it fast. When she was trying to sing it out to me, she had it fast, and I just wasn't feeling like that's something that I could do at that time. And I was like, let's try to slow it down a little bit and let me think of it. She said, okay. I went back home, I started going back and thinking about it, and that Sunday I had it done. And that Sunday morning, I got up and I sang it, and just tears started going down her eyes, just saying how beautiful it was, and she was so thankful that I did something like that for her.
And so, I mean, you make the top 5 on American Idol. Obviously, it means you don't win it, but you make the top 5, which is an incredible, outstanding feat in and of itself. I mean, that makes you like 5 out of thousands upon thousands of people who auditioned. What is the most important thing, or are there specific important things that you feel that you learned from that experience?
It all feels surreal. The experience changed my life. I mean, I learned so much. Not just about the music, but about myself. I'm just really grateful for from everyone who supported me, from the very beginning.
What advice from either a judge or mentor on the show is going to stay with you forever?
Man, Lionel Richie said something to me. I believe it was top 20, but when he looked at me and he said, "You might have been a secret in Tuskegee," he said, "but you're not a secret anymore." And just to hear them words, because no one knew who I was. No one knew who I was other than McIntosh. No one knew who I was, and now I get stopped everywhere I go, wanting to take a picture and just to let me know that, hey, they rooting for me, or said I really wanted you to win. Just to feel them words and to see little kids who coming up to me and singing my song word for word, not missing a beat. Just makes you feel so good.
What is it that you hope that people will take away from your music?
Well, I hope that people see that I'm writing music based off of experience. I'm writing music based off of me looking to the right of my shoulder. And I'm wanting them to see that I'm writing something, based off of me, but I'm also writing it from another set of eyes to where I'm writing it for you as well, to where you can sit down and not seem like I'm singing this to someone else, but I'm singing it to you. And that's what I want people to see when I sing them a song that I wrote.
Now, you also recently got married, and I believe have a baby in the house or one on the way. So I can imagine life has gotten really busy for you. Has this new stage of life inspired your writing any differently in any way? Because I can only imagine. I mean, having a child, I can only imagine you're feeling emotions now that you've never felt before, right? So how is that inspiring your music?
Well, yes, I am married now. We have a beautiful baby girl, and every time I look at her, she just brings me joy. And I want to build something real for her and my family. And when I look at her and I have that guitar in my hand, a new world opens up, because I could go outside and look at trees and look at grass, look at fish, but now, now I'm looking at, I'm looking at her, and her looking at her daddy, and just smiling at me when I'm singing to her. It changes my whole writing now, and the reason why I say that is because now it feels like I'm writing songs for her. I'm writing songs to her and I'm singing to her, and it's a whole nother experience.
So, do you have any new projects in the works or shows coming up?
So me and my new team, we've been working on some new stuff. We've been we're gonna try to get something, dropping, in September. Got all kinds of stuff coming up. I'm doing that, that pop, that country, that gospel. We're trying to put all that into works, and just trying to get it as fast as we can out to people. I've already teased a couple of songs that we're going to have on there, and they're loving it. They're eating it up, and so I can't wait to really put that music out there.
Do you keep up with any of the other co-contestants on the show?
So me and Will Mosley are really close. I have a great relationship with him. I mean, we became the best of friends after Idol, and then Cody Johnson. I talked to Cody Johnson. He's a cool guy too.
Yeah, it's funny how you have those experiences, and it seems like those types of things where everybody's together, and when they're together, everybody goes, "Oh yeah, we're going to keep up, we're going to keep up, we're going to keep up." But you're in Hollywood, and the truth of the matter is it generally doesn't happen. So it's kind of cool when you get a couple of those connections. That's the bond stays long after the excitement of the event, right?
Yeah, I mean it's you get a family, and we have 2 months. It was from April, from the beginning of April to the end of May. And when you really bond a relationship with these people, and they live in different states, and the show's over, everybody's going in their parting ways, and you're just hoping that they're not like because there are other people who weren't able to make it as far as, thank God, I was able to. So it's really good to find people who are not like, well, you made it further than me, I'm not talking to you, but just genuinely happy that you made it as far as you did, and they made it as far as they did. And I was so glad that year's season were like that. We all still got a big group chat, and we all, when we can, when we're not busy, they all try to get on up there and talk to one another and just be family.
That's just cool that was able to be carried on, after. I said last question, but another one kind of popped into my head. The routine of being on a show like that, and having to prepare for upcoming weeks and the different things that you have to do. What can you tell us about kind of what the weekly routine would be for a contestant on that show that makes it into the top 24 or top 12 or even top 5?
So, the routine was Monday through Saturday, I want to say, because Sunday we had we had live and stuff. So Monday through Saturday, we had dress rehearsal. We had vocal coaching. We had hair and makeup. And when you put it in that order, they go, that don't seem like a lot of work. So me, as young as I was, and having my mother, a little brother, and an older brother, a lot of times they didn't want to go to sleep. And so my call time is 9:30, 10 o'clock. I'm not going to bed till 4 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, jeez.
And you're having to get up and you're having to sing for 2.5 hours for vocal coach. And you're trying to learn new songs that you've never heard of before. When I done an Adele song, I've never heard of that song a day in my life. There are songs that you see me sing on there I've never knew and never heard of, but yet I only had a week to learn it. So which means Monday through Saturday, I was listening to that song. I was doing it. I was rehearsing everything. And then also while you're rehearsing that one week, you're also rehearsing for the next week because you got things the following week. So we're doing all this. And like I told you a while back, when you're doing that dress rehearsal and you have 7 different outfits you have to go through, you're also planning for next week as well. And they have to have the exact measurements. You have to have that exact time. Then you're going on and you're rehearsing with an amazing band director, Chris Pooley. You're going there with him. You're making sure that the music sounds good. You're making sure the tempo is not too fast. You're making sure this is the right key. Then you have, I forgot about my choreographer. You have your choreographer who comes out and is telling you where's the cameras, what word to move your body on, where to look at the camera when this is going on. We had a 360 camera who followed us and had to time that just right to look at the camera when they go away. All this is going on in a week span of time, and then Sunday you've got to remember it.
What people don't realize, they think you're just getting up there and singing a song, but it's a song that you had to memorize by listening to over and over to the point where you probably got sick of it.
Oh man. I mean, because the thought, and you got to think, I'm singing in an audience of 400, 500 people, but I'm singing to a camera with 20 million listeners. That's on the other end of that screen watching me. So if I mess up, 20 million people is gonna know that I messed up.
And the camera's moving.
And the cameras continue to move. So yeah.
And the camera's moving, so you're having to keep up with it. Well, it's thank you, Triston, so much for joining us. I mean, it's been an absolute pleasure. I'm so glad that we were able to connect and get you on and get to know each other a little bit, man. You just, and the best of luck with everything.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, Mike.
Ladies and gentlemen, Triston Harper. That is our show for tonight. Thank you so much for watching, and a special thanks to Triston Harper for joining us. Stay safe, everyone.